Have you ever dreamt about taking a cruise on one of them fancy boats, soaking up the beauty and the magic just to free your soul? It's floating on the ocean, just a notion that seems out of reach. One thing on your bucket list is just to go and see the beach. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
You know you gotta do the things you've only dreamed about. Don't let anything stop you thinking you can't go all out. You can do the things you never thought were possible with Helping Hands to help you get there. Even oceans are no obstacle. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
So if you ever dreamed about taking a cruise in one of them big old boats, soaking up that sun, feel that breeze, yeah, there is still hope. Don't let the ocean be a notion that is out of reach. Let's get together, help each other, and go see the sea. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You've got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
Hey, it's Kimbra and Matt here from Fantastic Cruising, and we are proud members of the charity Helping Hands for Cruising, which is a charity that helps people that can't go cruise for any reason. You know, they don't have the means because of financial or disability or some other reason, and we want them to be able to have a vacation of a lifetime.
Yeah, so this is the inaugural Helping Hands for Cruising cruise, and we got to sponsor our first person. Man, what an experience it was to see the smiles on his face the first time that he has seen the ocean. We're gonna post a video of his specific response, but let me just tell you, Helping Hands for Cruising is an awesome, I should say fantastic, charity that you can help sponsor future recipients go on a cruise, people who have never cruised before, people who would never be able to cruise otherwise, help them have this amazing experience. Just go to helpinghandsforcruising.org and help us out.
Give me a. Oh, there we go. Oh my God. Technical crap going on. Seriously? You think it's Tuesday or something? Welcome aboard, folks. Nice to have you here. Let me see who's first in the chat. Well, we got Joe first on in the chat. Welcome aboard, buddy. Followed very quickly by Jimmy from the Astute Tourist, and Down Under Cruise is making a fool of themselves as usual. Well, g'day, folks. And Joe is saying, warning, do not mention that dirty cat urine that passes for beer. If you do, you will be timed out. Joe, thank you very much. I love it from the bottom of my heart. I'm really appreciative of that comment. God forbid anybody should come in and mention that F word. Jimmy is saying smash the like button, so we'd really appreciate it if you guys did. And also Helping Hands for Cruising is saying, we are saying to the Down Under Cruisers, guess what, you're third. So there we go. Joe is simply agreeing with that. You're not first, I am first, followed by Jimmy. The Ducks are third. There you go. And then Joe's also saying, stop arguing with yourself. Well, my response is why it's the best argument I ever had. It's the only one I can win, no matter which way I go. Joe says he argues with himself sometimes. Well, at least it's only sometimes. Well, and people are saying g'day to each other, which is great. Hashtag helping hands for cruising, which is great. G'day, Jonesy. Mate, I believe that when you actually drive around Bathurst, you should be doing speeds of like 180 k's an hour, not freaking 40 or whatever it is you were doing. Great video, mate. Really enjoyed it. Joe's saying g'day to Jonesy, and Jonesy saying g'day to Joe. All right. Everybody's saying g'day to each other. PP, you will leave it at that. Leave it at that. Do not mention the other word. You know what I'm saying? As a mod, I needed to make myself clear, says Joe, and you're right. You're always clear. Pistas, yeah, leave it at that. Leave it at that. Don't get close. G'day, Jonesy hi, Jimmy from Jonesy. Well, what are we talking about today? Chatting with Shaun about helping hands for cruising. All right, here we go. You get booked by the cops. They sit there. Where do they sit? Which corner? Conrad, just before Conrad? I know it's a public road. I'm only stirring. Only because if anybody watches the Bathurst, you will notice all the track paraphernalia are in place so that it can get closed off whenever there's the big race at Bathurst. And those of you that are not from our side of the pond, look up Bathurst Road Race. It's an incredible race. It's kind of like your Thunderdome type, but a little bit different. Joe is saying people have been caught out on Mount Panorama. There's people who want to do 180 Ks, but they get booked and lose their license straight away, and your plate's confiscated for 3 months. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm only stirring because I was watching Jonesy do the track, and he was getting a commentary blow by blow. Nick is saying 212 days until the reunification with the German lady, which would be absolutely brilliant. Nick is also saying he leaves for Vegas the day after tomorrow. Gee, that's close. And check out my video. Well, I did. I checked out your video. It was cool. I enjoyed it. I loved the commentary. But Joe, you need to check out the video. Look up Bathurst 1,161 laps of pure speed heaven. Yep, it is. And it is because it's 1,000 Ks that they travel, not how fast they go. Nick is saying he did reach out to her after last week's live. He's heard back from her twice. Mate, that's excellent. That's the kind of news I like. G'day, Nick from Jonesy. Well, you did a split there. Yep, okay. Joe is saying, hey, Jonesy, did you get to check out the National Motor Racing Museum? And hey, Jonesy to Nick. Joe's got a question mark now. And Joe is saying, want to know something? I'm only 2 and a bit hours from Bathurst. Mate, I didn't need to know that right now. They're kind of like, oh my God, serious? I want to be there. Oh, well, I can because all I got to do is just drive up at some point. Jonesy's been working. Hey, Jonesy, you guys still recovering from the high winds? Or has everything come back to scratch? Jones is saying Nick is saying it's my turn to reply back to her, but this week has been very busy. Tonight's my second night of German polka dance lessons. Going to shoot her a message from there. Now, Nick, do they give it to you in the accent, the Darien accent, or do they do it in American accent? I'm only joking, you know that. Okay. So what's happening with Helping Hands for Cruising? Well, not a lot's happened in the last week. However, truth be known, there have been some updates to the number of cabins booked. Amy's cruise goes in just on 26 days, and not only that, but we've got Bruce with his Alaska cruise coming up and the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise coming up. More about them a little bit later. We'll talk more about those. Jonesy's saying we missed it, but Hobart copped 100-kilometer winds, or was it 0-kilometer winds? I've got a funny feeling it was pretty high. Nick is saying then I'm reporting back to her the German things I find in Las Vegas. I've even found an ice cream shop that sells spaghetti ice through Google. Wow. Joe is saying expect Darian to show up now, Shaun. Well, only if the word, that other word, that S word, is said 3 times. And Nick is saying he did not say it 3 times like Beetlejuice. 180 Ks. OMG. I need a new laptop. Some keys don't work good. Mate, 150 Ks is huge. That's incredible. That's almost gale force weather. Okay. Well, that's... I hope the guys in Hobart are all pulled out okay. No major injuries and no major damage. Okay, so, just like you guys over across the other side of the pond get your hurricanes, we get some bad weather here too. And Tassie is just proving it. 150 kilometers an hour is, that's fast. Okay, 160 is 100 miles. So that's about 95 miles an hour winds, which is, okay, if you're from Florida, that's just a normal gusty day. But for us down under, that's sort of like spread your arms and you'll fly. Joe saying back just had to get some chocolate. What? About to get some rain tomorrow. Joe, chocolate for you and none for me? Seriously. Jonesy is saying trees down everywhere and 80,000 homes with no power. Holy moly. So do you get onto those jobs or are you just around the Burnie area? Nick is saying he's still in disbelief. His friend wasn't even looking for anybody on that trip this summer, winter in the Southern Hemisphere. It just shows it happens when you least expect it. Yep. I can understand that. 150 Ks is 93.2. See, I was close. 95 was close enough. But there we go. Thank you, Joe, for that. Now, I don't have Jimmy's music, but hey, mate, I'm drinking my coffee. And I can tell you it's the best sip at the end of the night. Jonesy is saying, nope, that's 5 hours drive away. I was just asking whether or not you got yourself called out to things like that because, when you have a disaster, any help will do. Don't know if you agree with me. Anyway, so I normally play first up Amy's promo, but I know that cruise is fully booked out. I know that Roxanne is looking forward to it. Apparently, she's pretty much almost packed. That's coming from Michael Ann, who is also a last-minute packer. And Shaz and Gaz as well are getting themselves all organised for the cruise. So it looks like it's going to be a real fun cruise. And you know what? Roxanne is going to have the most amazing time. What can we say? It's going to be an absolute blast. Okay, having said that, Joe is saying, does that coffee mug have windows? No, and no, it's not see-through. They're green. The letters are green, and it says "sexy bald guy." After some special character, I believe. Nick is saying he started packing a little bit for April. He purchased a stuffed kangaroo for her with a Joey in the pouch at Sydney Airport, and then he also has an opal necklace from Cooper Petey for her. Man, is she going to be spoiled. He loves seeing those videos of stories people share of meeting up with people at the airport. He's so excited to have his own story of reunion with somebody special. Well, let's hope it works. Nick is also saying we last saw each other at the Vancouver airport in Canada, and now we're going to reunite in the airport in Munich, which was also the same one he went to last year in Germany. Now, Nick, whenever you talk to her, do you talk by voice or do you talk by say FaceTime? In other words, do you see each other or do you just use your voices? All right, let me get this going. See how we go. This is the one from Bruce.
Have you been dreaming of an Alaskan cruise? Or maybe you've taken one before and you just can't wait to go again. If so, the Helping Hands for Cruising Group Cruise is just the cruise for you. June 15th through June 22nd, 2025, you will set sail on the magnificent Norwegian Encore. This amazing group cruise will take you to Juneau, Skagway, a majestic cruise through Glacier Bay, Ketchikan, a stop in Victoria, British Columbia before arriving back in Seattle. Contact Bruce at ocean2oceantravel.com today to find out how you can be a part of this fantastic group cruise to Alaska. This is one you definitely don't want to miss.
Yep, absolutely a cruise you don't want to miss. And please God, if we were fortunate enough to win the lottery, we would certainly be making it as a cruise we'd like to go on, because the Alaskan cruise is a bucket list cruise. So there we go. And Jonesy, it has sure been dreaming about it. Mate, have you got in touch with? You have got in touch with Bruce. You're all booked on the Rock and Roll Tribute, but I believe who was it? I think last night on when I was on Jimmy's show. Last night we were lucky enough to have Nick say that he found a flight that went from Sydney to Dallas for $1,500, which is awesome. Well, Scott, welcome aboard, Scott. Nice to have you on board. Are you still on that cruise? No, you're not. You're still halfway between you and Hawaii. I hope you guys have an awesome time. I'm so jealous. Hawaii is another place we want to go to. So there you go. Nice to have you here, buddy. And Joe is also happy to hear from you. So keep it up. Nick, we only chat through standard messages on WhatsApp. She is stressed out with trying to change her job and recovering from a pretty bad twist of her ankle. And she's worth the wait. Well, that's awesome. Certainly going to look for, it was you, Jonesy. Yeah, you're right. $1,500. Good on you. Keep on checking, mate. But I think you would have found $1,500 would have been for this year, not next year. And I know that because I've been trying to look for figures from next year. So, and I believe they only put the routes out 5 or 6 months before the flight. So here's hoping. Scott is saying g'day to Joe. Joe is saying, Shaun, you can expect that Christmas card in the mail this year. Thank you, Joe. Really appreciate that, my friend. Really appreciate that. Hey, Jonesy from Scott. Nick is saying she knows when I'll be landing in Munich, so I'm in no rush. I'm keeping the faith that will be something magical. Well, mate, you never know what happens in Munich. What starts in Munich stays in Munich. That's what Darian's been telling me. G'day, Jimmy from Scott. Hey, Nick from Scott. Jonesy is saying Fijian Airlines. That's right. Fijian Airlines. Mate, you better book that real quick. If you can for next year. G'day, Nick. G'day, Scott. Aussies don't say g'day beforehand. They just call out the name. Scott, Nick, Jonesy, Shaun, Joe, whatever. Jimmy, if he's still there. But I think Jimmy's having a party at the moment, recovering from his weekend, I believe. And boy, did he have a great weekend. Now, folks, what I can say to you is that Helping Hands for Cruising are looking for sponsors. We're looking for sponsors not only for the charity, but we're also looking for sponsors that will be able to support some of the cruises as well. For example, the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise as well. That's going to be, we're looking for sponsors for that as well. So it would be awesome if you knew of somebody. Please talk to them and see how they can help. Joe is saying, ironic part is there's 2 cards being sent from me to Victoria this year. One is going to us and Ilana, and the other is going to his friend in Marupna. Oh, that's cool. Why is that ironic? Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's just too ironic. It's like rain on your wedding day. I can't remember the rest of the words. Nick is saying that's what they say about Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. She's super excited to hear about my experience with Oktoberfest in the best party city in America. I'm glad you didn't use the word world, because like there are great party cities in Australia. Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide. Well, it depends with Adelaide when you get them. Joe is saying, I take it you loved that video from the 360 photo booth at the event he went to on Saturday night. The 3 of us were a little pickled. We had drunk enough grog to last a millennium. Mate, you guys looked so funny doing your stuff. It was awesome. It's always awesome. Okay, so yeah. So I think if I don't get this, Scott will be upset because he put in a lot of work on this video, and it's almost like I feel like I've got to pay him for the privilege. But I know that Ross has, and the reason why Ross has is because he's managed to send Ricky Rocker into hiatus for a week. So let's see how we go with this one. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for that cruise. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. To be able to shake Scott's hand, shake Scott by the hand, and Jimmy give him a hug, and catch up with Dewey again, and see Kenny, and oh my goodness, it's going to be awesome. Nick is saying that the only thing about Adelaide is that they have two big balls. Man, they put most guys to shame. Yeah, I know. I've seen those balls, and they are absolutely unbelievable, right next to the pigeon. Yeah. So, those of you that are across the pond, you guys have got to come and see those balls. Adelaide has some amazing balls. Joe is saying Oscar Mike Foxtrot Golf. No, it's bringing back the hangover of all hangovers. He had the worst headache on Sunday morning, something a rather greasy McDonald's breakfast fixed. Mate, the best way to fix that is water in between. Rehydrate, then you won't be hungover. All right, Joe is saying 1 beer, 1 mojito, a pomegranate and raspberry vodka, and several various other cocktails, including 2 espresso martinis. Mate, you're not wrong. That certainly would have put me over the top. G'day to Scott. There's all the drinks he had on Saturday. Mate, seriously? Wowza. But with all those drinks in place, was the show any good? Was the fun with your mates any good? Hope they were. Okay, so what else? Added to that, I mean, if I look at that cruise is going to be awesome. There are going to be a number of people that are going to be there that I would absolutely love to spend some time with and have spent some time with, and it'll be good to catch up with them. People like Jimmy and Kenny, also Ross and Donna, of course, Jimmy's lovely, beautiful wife, Colleen. There will be, oh my goodness me, Bruce and Cindy. I mean, it just kind of hopefully Jonesy and the lovely Mrs. Jonesy is going to be there. Some other guys from Australia are going to be there. So currently, I believe there's 65 cabins sold. I believe that there will be a few more coming up, but I believe there are currently 65 cabins sold. Joe saying it was bloody unreal. Got to mingle with one of the bigwigs from the Isuzu headquarters in Japan. Almost felt tempted to have a cigar. Mate, I'm glad you almost felt tempted. What did you think of the Cherry? I think they've got an SUV there, the electric one. What did you think of that? Be keen to have your ideas on it. I think most of the time we will be looking for assisting people to get on more cruises. So we've got Roxy coming up on Amy's cruise. We're talking to 3 people that will make a decision as to who goes on to the Alaska cruise, and we've got to get that done fairly soon so that we can get everything underway. And then there are 2 recipients that are going on the RNR Tribute Cruise. One of them is a definite. The other one right now is currently in the wings at the moment because possibly having some health issues. But hopefully we get it all set and we can get everybody on board. At least what I'm going to say, folks, is if you know of anybody that you think would be a good recipient, please nominate those recipients by putting together a 2 to 5 minute video and get that 2 to 5 minute video into us at Helping Hands for Cruising, and then the board will have a discussion about it and it would be amazing, because then we can then get people on board. Now, just to give you guys another heads up, the Australian side of HH4C, we've had some changes of our accountants for that one, and we will hopefully be getting everything up and running with the ACSC, the Australian Charities, and I forget what the other. I forget what the total thing means, but it's the Australian version of the 501c3. So hopefully that'll be happening fairly shortly. So we'll see how that goes. Joe is saying that they did not have that in stock as it was on the way to the dealership. They also did not have the small SUV either. I actually did see the small one. I think I'm not sure whether it was the electric one or the ordinary one, but I did see a Cherry SUV yesterday morning, as a matter of fact, on my way into work. It looked absolutely amazing. Yeah, Jonesy, it does sound great. It's going to be an awesome cruise. We've got Echoes of Pompeii and Who's Who. Both are quite established and renowned bands, as well as Mr. Funny Man. We're certainly looking forward to all the music that they're going to put out, and all the great things that are going to come on with that. Nick is saying, once I pass through TSA Thursday morning, he's going to throw on his lederhosen at the airport. It's a 3.5-hour flight, but he's going to fit right in. This will be his first time in Las Vegas. Mate, why don't you just go in through TSA in your lederhosen? The tax deduction. Yeah, oh, yes, it will be great with having the tax deductible. Okay, yeah, it will be great having the tax deduction benefit. And so we're certainly trying to put things together and get that happening. And, well, what can I say? We've put some people up onto the advisory board. We've got the advisory board starting to grow in Australia as well. So if there's anybody here that feels that they would like, anybody on our side of the pond that feels they would like to contribute in terms of the advisory board, that would be awesome. The advisory, to give you guys an idea, the advisory board assists the board of Helping Hands for Cruising by giving advice as to what they think needs to happen and how they can improve and so on and so forth. So we take opportunity to learn from those sort of things. Nick is saying, I don't think I want to go through the TSA in the lederhosen because they make people take off belts, and he's afraid they might make him take it off, so he's going to wait until he gets through it. Oh, you chicken. Come on. I'm stirring, Nick. I'm stirring. There are 5 models in the Cherry lineup, the Emoda 5 and the Emoda E5, the Tiggo 4 Pro Max, the Tiggo 7 Pro Max, and the Tiggo 8 Pro Max. Aha! And I'm assuming the Emoda E5 is the electric version. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nick is saying when he went through the Australia airport, Brisbane, Darwin, Melbourne, and Sydney, the longest he waited in security was 1 minute. Yep, that's true. Joe's saying the dealer did not have the Emoda E5 or the Tiggo 4 Pro Max. Tiggo Pro 4 Max is the small SUV. I guess that one was down here. Joe is saying correct. The E5 is indeed the electric version. Awesome. So that's great news. All right, so we just wait and see what happens. We're going to utilize the new accountants to assist us in getting the tax, the charity status here down under, and once that all pans together, we will then be absolutely excited and start to kick off the charity down under really well. Our next step is looking at Canada, and then not only Canada, but then going off to the UK and then Europe, and see how we go from there. All right, so Joe is saying he's going to have to split like a banana split and get off the computer. Mate, you don't have to split. You can just simply say cheers and we'll catch you tomorrow. Nick is saying he has to work until 10 p.m. tomorrow. Then he'll have a hotel overnight near the Minneapolis airport. The flight leaves at 8 a.m. on Thursday. It's a direct flight all the way out. Why don't you just go sleep at the airport? I mean, you know, I'm stirring, Nick. Nick, on the way back, he has to stop and make a connection in Denver, Colorado. Mate, you go around the world in order to get to your place. Anyway, folks, I'm going to call it quits. I don't have much other news to give you, but what I will say, tomorrow I'll be on sharing with Jimmy on Cup of Joe Live. And then on Friday night, for those of you across the pond, and Saturday, it'll be midday on Saturday for those of us on this side of the pond. Ilana will be joining me, and we'll be having our standard Ducks Live. Also, I want to say that when daylight saving hits, which is, I think, in a couple of weeks, we will move our Saturday out to 1 p.m. So that we keep in time with the Yanks. And unfortunately for you guys across the pond, Tuesday and Wednesday for us, Tuesday will end up being at 5 a.m. for the next couple of weeks until you guys go out. And that's the way it's going to happen, unfortunately. Jonesy is saying on his last flight to Queensland, they had to pat him down there because the pants kept on getting alarms on explosives. Mate, I know you're pretty explosive anyway. I'm joking. The wife said there is none down there. I'm pretty sure she beat me to it before I even opened my mouth. Anyway, folks, I'm going to bid you all a good night or a good day for those of you across the pond. Please have a very safe day, and please smile at everybody, huh? Let's not be enemies. Let's be friends. Have a great day. We'll catch you later.
Have you ever dreamt about taking a cruise on one of them fancy boats, soaking up the beauty and the magic just to free your soul? It's floating on the ocean, just a notion that seems out of reach. One thing on your bucket list is just to go and see the beach. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
You know you gotta do the things you've only dreamed about. Don't let anything stop you thinking you can't go all out. You can do the things you never thought were possible with Helping Hands to help you get there. Even oceans are no obstacle. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
So if you ever dreamed about taking a cruise in one of them big old boats, soaking up that sun, feel that breeze, yeah, there is still hope. Don't let the ocean be a notion that is out of reach. Let's get together, help each other, and go see the sea. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You've got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands